Hey everyone, so it's that time of the year, month, I don't know. I'm fast approaching 250 subscribers, so thank you for everyone that's been subscribing, watching my content, and commenting. So today we're going to be doing a quick Q&A and status report. Like always, I'm going to try and do this bi-monthly if I get enough questions. My minimum amount of questions is honestly just 3, so this is going to be pretty quick, hopefully. The past couple of recordings of this were like 20 minutes, so I guess if it gets to that point, then so be it. It's free content, right? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. From Melqui Mancalling, I'm sorry for butchering that username. This is on the Mp7 video, and it's, "Hi, I have the same unit and it has some issues. The bolt locking only works sometimes. I guess it has to do something with the rubber pad that absorbs the bolt's impact. Did you remove the rubber pad?" So I didn't actually own that particular submachine gun. The one that you see behind me is a VFC model because I realized the KWA one was kind of trash. So yeah, the one that was given to me by a friend to use for that video, and I can say that it's all right, but that's not the question. I didn't remove the pad because of that reason. If I did own it, I still wouldn't remove it, and the reason why is the rubber pad is there to do 2 things. One, it's to slow down the bolt enough that it can lock back into place, to shoot again. And 2, it's to prevent metal on metal impact. Anyone that has been playing airsoft or with gas blowbacks for a long time now realize that green gas is not some inert like gas that that goes away after a while. Well, it does, but it's basically propane without the smell, and they add silicone oil to the mix. It's a very flammable object, and I'm surprised that no one has gotten injured yet. But yeah, gas, the last thing you want when you have a essentially a propane powered gun is having a spark in it. It would more than likely blow up your KWA gun because the receiver is made out of polymer, or not polymer, like some sort of cheap plastic, not the nylon reinforced polymer that every other gun is made of. So no, I did not. I did not remove the rubber pad, and even if I had a KWA MP7, I still wouldn't remove the rubber pad. As for your bolt locking, I think that just has to do with the shoddy quality of KWA. A lot of their guns tend to wear out relatively quickly. If you were to watch, I can't remember the video. I believe it's Total Recoil Airsoft. He actually does a video with a KWA 416 versus a VFC 416, and the difference between those two is almost night and day. And it's practically the same with the MP7s or any other gun that KWA tries to make. So I hate to say this, but I'd say just enjoy the KWA MP7 for as long as it's got some life in it, and then once it finally dies, sell it on hop up as a graveyard gun and get yourself something like a VFC, or unless you want to keep fixing it. Yes. So this one is from Bellator Airsoft. Could the inlet valve be replaced with a one from Gmag? Really like the gun. I like it. Love the review and love your channel. Thank you. Someone said that I'm basically what happens if two of someone's favorite hobbies get collided together, and that's pretty much what is going on in my head. As for your question, could the inlet valve be replaced with the one from Gmags? I'm not sure. Probably. A lot of the inlet valves, the threading is pretty similar. That said, I'm not sure. I don't do that much third-party teching or like modifying. I tend to keep all my guns stock because I like to be unbiased in my reviews. That includes like not modifying them in any sort of way. So I guess taking them out into the mountains and shooting them till they break type thing. um, but I know what you're trying to do. I did mention this in my video that the magazine capacity is kind of terrible. And a lot of people were telling me that you can fix this, and there are multiple different ways. And I don't doubt them. I'm guessing these guys have more experience with Tokyo Marui guns than I do. So I would say do one of these that someone recommended in the comments. There's a silver tube that prevents the gun from feeding more gas into. That's what your overfill valve is. I'd suggest clip that, and it would essentially give you more gas capacity. At least that's what I'm assuming. If it doesn't work, you can always get a replacement part. That's like what, $10 at most. I'm not sure if I want to try this experiment. Like I said, I do all my reviews stock, so that would kind of defeat the purpose of what I do. I mean, I already pushed out the Type 89 review, so I guess I could. I'd have to get I'd have to get a lot of people to like tell me to try it out in order for me to actually do it. So Richard Scott is asking, where have you been able to get your Umarex GBBRs from? I know it is harder to find a reliable source to import to the US. So this is actually a really good question. I get asked this a lot when I go and play Airsoft, and also when people talk to me on Discord. So if you want the short answer, it's basically look around in Hong Kong. The long answer is a little more complicated. So funny enough, half of my guns are from the US. A lot of my pistols that you see like right here, they all come from Airsoft Extreme. Aside from a couple that I managed to find through third-party trades. But yeah, a lot of my pistols, they come from here in the US because I guess we love pistols and that sort of thing. And a couple of my guns actually came from Airsoft Extreme as well, my UMP and the Mp7, which I got through a third party, but I know came from Airsoft Extreme. Aside from that, Umarex GBBRs, they're not exactly that hard to find. Granted, you'd have to pay a little bit to get them into the States, but it's not impossible. For example, my MP5, my 416, my 417, and a couple other guns I plan on getting, they're not impossible. You're totally capable of getting them into the States quite easily. But I know what issue you're having. You're trying to find a reliable site to buy them from. I typically use 3 websites. So one, I use WGC. That's my most favorite at the moment. They have a wide selection of guns that I can essentially pick from willy-nilly. They're just great so far. They have a auto calculator for how much they think shipping is. They have a really friendly UI. A lot of guns on tap, so if I wanted something, they usually have it. They have a lot of other like older obscure guns that I was surprised that they still have. For example, my KWA Mark 23. I think this is a couple years old, but they still have it in stock on WGC for like 180, which for an old pistol, that's not bad. So yeah, WGC is my favorite at the moment. But that said, I can't really say anything bad about them for the moment. Aside from that, just shipping to California is absolutely expensive. The second site I would recommend is Red Wolf, but kind of hesitantly. Red Wolf is expensive primarily because, well, it's not expensive, but it's just a pain in the butt. A lot of the guns that you want are going to be out of stock on that site, just because it's the most popular site, bar none. Everyone knows about them through their YouTube channel, I guess. So yeah, a lot of their a lot of their like stock is usually missing, so that's just my experience with them. Uh, yeah, I guess they're a good choice if WGC doesn't work, but that's kind of like scraping the barrel. And the final one is Bunny's Workshop. Bunny's Workshop I wouldn't recommend if you live in California or New York for a couple of reasons. For one, they're kind of hesitant. When I was buying the 416, they were basically emailing me back and forth, and I was emailing them back and forth, trying to convince them that don't worry, so long as you have it in a certain marking or certain way, you can get it into the US. And I understand their hesitancy because California is, well, it's California, and it's just pain in the butt to get shit in here. So yeah, that was lovely. Aside from that, I guess if you live in any other place besides California or New York, you can definitely get them from Bunny's Workshop. But they kind of suffer from the same issue where a lot of their stock is missing from from their inventory. So I definitely recommend WGC. Skullfrog Tango is asking, hi, which brand of MP7 do you recommend? So, I'm going to be a bit biased here and recommend VFC. VFC is the best middle ground, in my opinion, for gas blowbacks. They're not exactly the best, but they're not the worst. They're like the Goldilocks zone of gas blowbacks. They have the best pricing for the best, or for the quality that they're offering. All the guns that you see, well, all the H&K guns that you see, except for the MP5K behind me, they all are fantastic to look at, and they perform just as well. The VFC MP7 is renowned for its quality, much more so when it's compared to the KWA one. And it really shows. It's a really nice gun, and I'm gonna try and do a review on it. So yeah, and also it's better than the KWA version for a couple of reasons, because it comes in two flavors. You can either get the A1, which has that iconic folding grip, or you can get the version that I have, which has the Picatinny, so you can put whatever you want on it. And yeah, so that's why I'd recommend it. There are a couple other brands, but I don't have experience with them, so it's not fair for me to say my part. All I can say is that they exist. So the other companies would be Vipertech, Tokyo Marui, WeTech, and I think that's about it. So yeah, I'd recommend going with the VFC one because they're the second most readily available, and they are a very decent quality gun. So I definitely recommend. And overall, they're a lot more true to the real gun than the KWAs. So, all right, so that is the end of all the questions. I'm gonna just quickly spew out what's going on behind the scenes. Slide Bite's not going anywhere. I'm currently working on a couple of reviews for that. The one that will be coming out soon is going to be on this lovely plastic M4. It's an absolute meme of a gun. Can't wait to do that one. I have a couple other anime videos. I keep saying I'm going to be making anime videos, and I keep wearing trashy anime stuff, but I just never really have the time, or much less the confidence to do that sort of stuff, because Giga kind of dominates that field. So I feel like it's going to be wandering into enemy territory. And then finally, I'm working on a short film, or not short film, a short series. If you guys have seen my AAP001 Yeet test, you know what I put at the end, so you guys know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around this far, and with that out of the way, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.